Yo, what up, what up, what up?
What up?
Boom. I like the musical intro there. So we are SEC After Dark. We have a slightly new look here. Our name logos. We have the cinder block background now. We have a brand new logo on the bottom left of the screen. Of course, the chat over there to your left. We thank you for joining us. It's a Wednesday night. What else would you want to do on a Wednesday night besides watch us?
Seriously,
But that's Stephen Willis and Jake Thomas. We are without Jeb. He broke his camera. Insert joke here. We are SEC After Dark. You can find us in the audio form on the Bleav Network under the Beast of the East. And you can find us right here on the Y'all's Conference Network YouTube channel. On the video side, please subscribe. The views are getting up. And Stephen, you did a thing this week. Join TikTok.
Yes.
Join TikTok.
Join TikTok. I did what the kids do.
Yeah, welcome.
And yeah.
When are we going to see a dance?
You're never going to see a dance. You're never going to see a dance. But we have previews of the show that is currently airing on YouTube, and we also
your
have
walkabout. That's a perfect app for your walkabouts.
Yeah, and then we also have like snippets. Like we did a uniform poll that Ole Miss put out on its profile yesterday. That the powder blue uniforms outgained everybody else combined. Red, navy blue, white, the whole thing. The powders won out. Yeah.
It was the powder blue jersey and powder blue helmet, or powder blue with white helmet.
I think it was powder blue with white helmet. I think that is pretty special amongst the fan base right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Steve. So you joined me on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I put out a little top 10 list of my own. I am close. I'm about 3/4 of the way to 10,000. I'm at 7,500 views on that, so that's pretty good.
Nice.
Steve, I posted you and me on when you filled in for Israel on Bleav In Georgia Dawgs. I put a clip there. We're up to 145 likes on that. I'm getting close to 100 on the one I posted today with Vinny and I about the quarterbacks. So TikTok's a good app, man. You get a lot of views. You get a lot of access. That might be the app to go to. So hopefully that'll drive us. But another person that's going to drive us is betonline.ag. It continues to be the number one source for all your sports betting. You can bet on, next year you can bet on see if the Lightning will repeat as Stanley Cup runner-up. See if they can take on the Avalanche.
Hey, do not disrespect Tampa Bay.
The Avalanche are champions of the NHL. The Braves, the red hot Braves, you can bet on them. See if they can pull it out and overtake the Mets in the division. You can bet your early NFL season futures, which seems like the Saints at plus 3,200 seems like a really, really good bet to win the division. The college conference championship odds are out as well. There's some pretty interesting ones there. We can run through those a little bit. Ole Miss seems to be plus 3,300. That might not be a bad sleeper bet.
Yeah, I think they're favored by 21.5 over Troy also, and their regular season projected win total is 7.5 games per bet online.
And I like that.
Yeah, if you disagree with it anyway, there's an opportunity for you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, do it. Feel free to make some money. But here's how you do it. Here's how you put your money where your mouth is. You head to the website, or you can do it on your mobile device. You can type in that promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get your 50% welcome bonus. It's a great deal. They will match up to 50% of your first deposit. Bet online, it's where the game's at, man. So yeah, get on there. You want to know what another interesting bet is? Wake Forest at plus 1,800 in the ACC. The ACC is like,
wow,
like it's whack.
I think Vanderbilt and Duke are plus 500,000 or something like that to win their respective league. Kansas only plus 250,000. So they're actually better than Vanderbilt. Kansas is.
Rutgers is plus 20,000. Yeah, Duke is plus 50,000.
50,000, not 500,000. 50,000. Yeah. Vandy's the same thing, and
FIU is even plus 10,000 to win their conference.
Oh wow!
Like that's great. Akron is plus 10,000. So like that puts it in. That gives you a little perspective here.
Yep.
Arizona, the worst team in college football last year, plus 40,000.
What are the odds of Zach Wilson actually doing what he did, going to bet online? Have y'all seen that?
We're not off the rails yet.
So,
what's his mom's name? What's
Stacey?
mom's name?
Stacey's
mom.
The Jets just signed Stifler's mom, by the way.
Yeah,
that was whoever did that. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Jeez. I love that.
That is wild. That whole situation.
Oh my God! I saw that. I was like, you got to be joking.
You know, you can tell how young social media is and how young it really is by their reactions to this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
like,
throwing bombs and slaying moms.
Yeah, a 40-year-old woman wants an attractive, fit young man. One time, yeah. Okay. I mean, that's
billionaire too.
Yeah. That's not a surprising thing.
No. Right.
Yeah.
No. He's not the first cougar hunter, and he certainly won't be the last.
Yeah, and the only surprise on the whole thing is that he's probably Mormon, and she probably is too, because it all happened in Utah.
Yeah,
and,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
the best
part
was
maybe it was an honor code violation. I don't know.
It probably was. And the best part was the girlfriend reveal. Like she just freaking dropped that bomb.
Yeah, she dropped that mop bomb, and it's oof.
And it set off a wildfire, which she didn't expect it to go that way. She thought everybody would be like, "Oh."
Yeah, she's trying to tarnish his name and image and stuff, but it went the exact opposite.
It backfired.
I like the meme that's popping up on Twitter. Is like Zach Wilson when he checks Twitter this morning, and it was like Homelander from The Boys, just like surprised that they're rooting for him, and he's smiling. Yeah.
Yes.
Man, that's awesome. So
it was.
Well, we do have an action-packed show for you. Thanks to our new graphic design budget cuts, we had to cut the agenda at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have an exciting show for you. We're going to talk some traditions, maybe some quarterbacks, SEC media days, the media days before the media days, whatever that means. Steve, go ahead and drop us.
Media days before the media days means we're going to talk about the things that we want the coaches to talk about that they probably won't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So where do we start?
We start with the Ole Miss quarterback competition. Lane Kiffin's
a good one.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's not going to say who's leading, what's going on, what he expects, what he wants, but it is the story of Ole Miss fall camp. And everybody is going to have one question, and that is, what is the quarterback competition doing?
How many different ways are they going to ask? That should be something on Bet Online. How many different ways are they going to ask about the quarterback battle?
Yeah.
Five different ways, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna get creative.
Yeah, and the other funny thing is, media basically are one by one talking about how SEC Media Days is a joke and it served its purpose and it's no good anymore. Well, I'm about to quote America's Sweethearts, so everybody get ready. Billy Crystal said, "The best junkets are not the junkets where you talk about the movie. The best junkets are the ones where the media thinks it's about them." And SEC Media Days is no longer about the media. It's about the fans. And it's taking information straight to the fans. So the media, they're like that Arrested Development gif of George Michael just like head dropping down, kicking down. And because it's not about them. Because I talked about on my show last week, sports writers they're like telegraph operators. And all of everything they've done, they figured out how to scam and con their way to stay relevant. But the reality of the whole thing is they were based out of an era whenever they had to go cover games in the 1920s whenever Babe Ruth was playing because nobody was there. There was no TV. There was no radio. So that was an actual way that you needed to follow your team. Mm-hmm. Starting in 2010 with
That's
every
where the term
game.
beat writer came, right?
Yeah. That's 2010 when you could see every game on television. Every interview is on the internet or on television. It can go straight to the fans. What purpose do they serve? Picking what questions to ask?
Yeah.
It's kind of just a dead profession. They're like telegraph operators to me.
Yeah, I mean, a beat writer on a website. I don't know. That's a good point. I don't really know kind of where they are or what they provide that we can't all see for ourselves. Like they're gonna, like especially in football, like these beat writers, they ask these questions and they're never gonna get the answer that they want or that we all need. We just have to see it play out on the field, and I think you're starting to see, these beat writers and a lot of these newspapers and a lot of these online publications. They're having to really get creative on what they have to write about. They have to create narratives. They have to, create narratives out of thin air. They have to figure out how can we embellish this quarterback race. Mm-hmm. What can we do to create some sort of buzz? And they're struggling with that. Yeah. And what's going to benefit is shows like us that react to that stuff. Mm-hmm. We're not a journalism show. We're not a news breaking show. Mm-hmm. We are a entertainment reactionary show. Hey, we're gonna take this news, we're gonna digest it and give it to you from our perspective on what we think about it and how we see it. And then when we see the actual games, we're gonna tell you what we think about those from our perspective as well and how we see it. And we can never be wrong because it's how we're see it.
Yeah,
we're facilitators, really, is what we are. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people understand that. I think people are still stuck in it's not based in fact and heavy research and things like that. But it just, we facilitate discussions. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Like the TikTok video that I mentioned earlier about the stadiums. Like I haven't been to all those stadiums, but I know enough about them thanks to the technology we have readily available. Mm-hmm. I know enough about them to feel like I can give you a pretty solid list and spark some discussion. And 7,500 people watched it and 100 or so people commented and liked it. Nice. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, it sparked a discussion. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty successful video. So I like where we're headed. Shows like Pat McAfee, where it's really just more of like sports entertainment, stuff like that. Like those type of shows are starting to kind of really take off nowadays. And I think you're starting to, obviously First Take and Skip and Shannon and Undisputed or whatever. And some of those shows are, those are debate shows and people probably always watch those just for the train wreck that they are. But, if you guys want to jump onto some good SEC content, you should really tune in right here.
Yeah, it's something that's unique, and we're going to. I just got my credential approved for SEC Media Days. I mean, that's no big deal. Everybody gets their credential approved at SEC Media Days, but I'm going to attend virtually, kind of, and
do that.
Hit the FTP for stuff. So we might have some stuff for next week's show off of SEC Media Days.
Nice,
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What day is Saban going?
Whenever he wants.
I don't know off the top of my head right now.
He just walks in and Saban just walks in. He's like, "It's my turn."
Well, there's no circus going to be at the Hoover Hotel because the SEC Media Days this year is in Atlanta, Georgia, at the College Football Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So maybe they could be on the old J-Boy show set. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you seen the sun never sets on the Bama Empire? Did you know that?
Yeah.
I want. Let's see. I want to know what day Jimbo is. Tuesday. Okay, he's on Tuesday. I can get some of that. When's Jimbo?
Nice.
I'm looking.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah. How many questions are they gonna get with all that?
Kirby's on Wednesday.
Nice. Okay.
And Thursday is A&M and Auburn, which I'm gonna I'm going to be interested to see about that Auburn one. See if they ask Brian Harsin about what happened in the off season.
She's a 10.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Brian Harsin. God, I forgot about him. You know what's crazy though? Is
Doesn't it feel like 2 years ago?
Yeah,
it does.
It does. Like it feels like so long ago that there were like this whole like booster attempted coup and they failed and he just said F you, I'm gonna stay. Probably because he couldn't find another job somewhere else, but that's beside the point.
Well, it's because in January and everything has been hired up.
Yeah.
Right.
And these are the seasons that Auburn goes like 9-3, 10-2. Like when everybody picks them to finish dead last, and nobody gives them any credit. No, I don't really see it either. But there's a lot of teams like it's so packed in the middle of that division. I could see any team finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th. I could see it. I could see 3 through 7 shaking out a million different ways. None of it would surprise me.
No,
none of it. My bold prediction was Ole Miss finishing 2nd in the division. Alabama just, I think next year's the year that Ole Miss is really going to have a really good shot at getting them. Although this year,
where do you have Texas A 8-4?
I think 8-4 is going to be good for 3rd place.
I don't know if they can be Arkansas.
I think you're going to be. I think Arkansas. I like Arkansas to finish. Well, I've been flip flopping between Arkansas and Auburn in that 5th spot.
Jimbo and that offense looked really bad against Arkansas's defense last year. I mean, horrible.
And KJ Jefferson is miles better this year. He's going to have a lot of improvements.
The only issue that I have is that wide receiver is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. Yeah, Treylon Burks is gone. Now, they got a transfer from Oklahoma.
Yeah, Jadon Hazelwood.
Yeah, but he's not Treylon Burks.
No,
and
not even close.
And you see, it might look a little bit differently. People might focus on KJ Jefferson. The running backs have to be really good, but if there's no deep threat, safeties can come up on that offense. And in this RPO system, the one thing that you want to keep from happening is safeties coming down to help the linebackers, because so much of RPOs is off linebackers being the conflict players.
Yeah, and then, I think you'll start to see some 3rd level RPOs. I think you'll start to see zone reads, different ways to have some reads in the run game. Like one of my favorite run options is the bash concept, where you have a GT counter where the back runs his outside zone path away from the GT counter, and then the quarterback either gives it or pulls it based on the end. If the end hip pockets the pulling tackle, he pulls it, or he gives it to the back, and the back goes out. Or if that end stays put, then the quarterback pulls it and gets in behind the 2 pullers.
Okay.
I think you'll see some of that. I think you'll see just some more creativity in the run game, just to kind of get them by, because they're trying to break in some new receivers, like Hazelwood, Katron Jackson, and Warren Thompson. That's your projected starting lineup, barring injuries. Yeah.
Good job.
I went Lindy's.
Yeah. Phil Steele. I picture him talking to Bill King.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a committee thing. And Trey Knox, kid from Blackman High School, he's converted over to tight end. He's grown a little bit, so he's converted over to tight end. So that'll be.
He's Evan Ingram converted to tight end. Let's be real about it.
Yeah,
he's not 250 pounds. He's not.
People are going smaller at the tight end position.
Yeah. It's a plus wide receiver.
Yeah. But he is like 6'4". He is pretty big. So.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about this defense. Barry Odom continues to lead this group. I think they're going to continue to be good in his scheme. They get after you. They're flat physical. They blitz when they want to, not when they need to, and that they can play a variety of different coverages.
And they have Jalen Catalon. Catalon is perfect for that defense. Yes.
Yep, and they still have Bumper Pool too.
And they got Drew Sanders too. So.
Oh, that's right. Got a 5-star linebacker.
Yeah.
So really, the only question marks the defensive line, which, I mean, there's only 3 of those guys. So what difference can they really make? They just need to eat up blockers and clog up holes, and they'll be good to go there. So,
well, in that 3-2-6 defense, that John Haycock stuff that Barry Odom does, the defensive line basically always pinches anyway.
Yeah, it's more of a tight front type of look, and you're gonna the 3 down guys are gonna go A's and B's.
Yeah,
right.
And with a linebacker that's going to take the opposite of the nose guard and the A gap, and that's going to be your 4-man front to spill everything out.
And then your other guys are just going to scrape to the edges and the C gaps, and you got more athletic guys covering the C gap, and you're in good shape. I mean that's kind of the new thing, the 3-2-6.
Yeah, the one thing that I am interested about, and we can talk about this with Jake and all that, but when Alabama plays Ole Miss this year, they were able to play murder ball last year with Ole Miss because they had Brian Robinson. That guy's not out there anymore. That guy doesn't exist on that team. It's Jahmyr Gibbs, and this defense is kind of a match for him. Brian Robinson was just, hey, go get 4 yards a carry, and we'll just keep moving the chains and methodically do it. It was old-fashioned. Yeah, it was old-fashioned Saban from like 2011.
Yeah.
But that dude doesn't exist anymore, and I think the quarterback for Alabama only threw for like 176 yards that game.
Yeah.
So
they really need him.
It could be interesting.
I mean, is there anybody that can be that guy, Jake?
Do what now?
Is there anybody that can be that Brian Robinson type running back?
I mean, it all depends. We've had a couple guys who. Yeah, I mean, Trey Sanders is looking healthy, but I mean, is he really 100%? I mean, is Jace McClellan going to be 100%? We've seen what Jace McClellan can do in his freshman year. He got like an 80-yard touchdown run against Arkansas. But, I mean, is he going to be 100% healthy? Right. Roydell Williams, he's going to be healthy. I mean, everybody's got these torn ACLs, and are they going to be 100% healthy? Who knows?
And with Jahmyr Gibbs, you're going to want to release him out of the backfield on every pass play. If you force him to stay in for pass defense, does that actually hurt? Is he that good of a pass blocker? Brian Robinson, for everything about him, he was a plus running back. He was really, really good, and nobody ever talked about him. Jahmyr Gibbs is supposed to be the superstar, but is he the all-around guy? Now, he might be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, but if you run into an Auburn situation to where they just sold out for 57 minutes and then just inexplicably went away from it, but Alabama couldn't block it.
Right.
Yeah, and Jahmyr Gibbs would not be able to get out of the backfield there. If they're counting on him to be the playmaker that Jamison Williams was last year, I mean, there's a fairly easy way to take that away.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a playmaker like Jamison Williams that can take the lid off?
Yeah, it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, wide receiver-wise, not right now, no.
Yeah, and before anybody says anything, nobody is doubting that Alabama is good. This is all relative to Alabama. This is comparing Alabama to last year's team and the year before that. It's not comparing them to Texas A&M or any of the other teams because, honestly, at this point, why would you even do that?
Yeah, Alabama's finishing 7th. You heard it here first. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're 0-8.
But there's some holes there. There are some holes by Alabama standards. And we're not going to say this is the year where the decline happens. They've been saying that for 10 years. I'm done with that.
That's a lazy take.
Yeah, but this year you can actually see where there might be some problems. Now, there might be some guys step up a wide receiver. We have all of fall to go through. And The kid from Georgia is probably going to be a playmaker. Yeah, Jermaine Burton, but he's a John Mechie type receiver, which is important. You still need to find that guy in this Bill O'Brien offense that can take the top out of the defense. Harrell.
Yeah, that guy better be Tyler Harrell.
If you can't, you're kind of in trouble because safeties are going to come up and take away slowly that Jermaine Burton, and it's going to be a lot harder for Jahmyr Gibbs.
And defenses are getting a little bit more savvy on those linebacker level RPOs too, and how they play them. So, Bama, they got to watch. Bill O'Brien's going to have his work cut out for him this year.
Yeah, and the biggest question mark is at offensive line because we're replacing 3 guys. So
that's the reason I bring up the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. If you force him to pass protect and be the 6th blocker in the backfield so he can't release, all of a sudden you just removed Alabama's best weapon from their passing attack.
And what's crazy is the 2 guys you're replacing are the tackles.
Yeah.
And those are important positions with the way defenses are set up now. So what do? Do you screen them? Right. Do you have like every play has to have an outlet now, has to have a hot outlet, so that you can avoid the blitz. I don't know how you design your scheme so that you're not forcing Jahmyr Gibbs to pass pro 30 times a game and get ran over.
Yeah, Brian Robinson can do that. That's not what you want from Jahmyr Gibbs. You want him out in the flat. You want to get him out in space matched up one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And so is Bryce Young, we're going to see kind of the mental part of his game. Is he savvy enough to check out of some of those bad situations? Is he, does he know enough to be able to get himself out of trouble? And that's what we're going to find out this year. Last year, he was making throws, throwing dimes, a force in the RPO game, showed a little bit of scrambling ability and extending plays with his legs. This year, he's going to have to really up his mental game so that he can, that's the next step for him.
You're talking about the Heisman champion, Heisman Trophy winner too.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's amazing. It really is.
But quarterbacking is that way. Like you always you can insert quarterback here from Patrick Mahomes all the way down to the sad joker that starts at Maryland, to his brother.
Talia,
yeah. Or Tanner Morgan at Minnesota, or you look at Jake Haener at Fresno State, or Hank, however you say his name, at Boise State. Every single one of those guys, mental game. Like, they have to improve mentally. They have to take that next step mentally. And Bryce Young is included in that because defenses will be a step ahead. And they will exploit whatever preparation he did or did not have. They will exploit that.
Do y'all want a CONCACAF soccer reference for Bryce Young?
Let's do it.
Landon Donovan. Oh, wait.
No. Bryce Young is like a goalie in these CONCACAF games. Nothing really happens. You can kind of put it on cruise control for most of the game, but there's probably 1 or 2 plays that he needs to make a game. If he makes those plays, you're successful. If he doesn't, it's a little bit tighter than it was. So he's kind of like a goalkeeper for the U.S. national team, to compare him to the Alabama quarterback. It's at the point where 90% of the game, he can just function on the talent around him because Alabama's so good. But there are certain plays that he has to make. The SEC championship game, the bomb to Jamison Williams.
He made those plays.
Yeah, perfect pass. Yeah. He absolutely made those plays. So that is something that's going to be interesting. Maybe this year, if there's a little bit less, less experienced talent, all of a sudden, instead of 3 or 4 plays he has to make a game, it turns into 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Auburn last year.
It turns into Tim Howard in 2010, where he has to make 5 saves. He has to make 5 brilliant saves to keep the U.S. in it.
Yeah, and your thing, Corey, that's national championship game. He's not going to run into that in the SEC or SEC championship game.
Yeah,
but I mean, just like you said, like going with what you said, Stephen, like the Auburn game, he had to make that last drive, 97 yards, and he got to 4th and 10. I mean, you had to get that ball.
Did he have 2 fourth downs?
I think so. Yeah.
He had a 4th and 7 and a 4th and 10.
And then the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But you also had to have the wide receivers to catch the ball as well, and he put it where only they could catch it. But then you fast forward to the national championship game, it just didn't click for him in that game.
He didn't have his two weapons, and that's what concerns me about this year.
Yeah,
because Jamison Williams and John Mechie were such a big part of it against Auburn, and that comeback probably doesn't happen without him.
Because Jamison was out in the second half. Remember?
That's right, targeting.
Yeah, targeting. Yeah.
So they had Mechie and Ja'Cory Brooks stepped up big, but I mean, you're the Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to elevate those guys around you. You're supposed to put those guys in situations to where they can succeed, and he didn't do that. And Georgia brought way more pressure in the national championship than they did in the SEC championship. For God only knows why that they came out with that garbage game plan in the SEC championship. That was weird, but
I will say
you had a generational defense too. I mean, it is what it is.
I will say in the national championship game, Cameron Latou dropped a touchdown pass, and Ajay Hall dropped a pass that should have been caught and would have put us down there near the goal line, about 10 yards from the goal line. So,
now, that being said, Latou had a really good game, I thought.
Yeah.
He kind of stepped up big.
Also, if something happens to him, what's their tight end situation like?
I mean, we got Niblack, and that's about it.
Because, 2 or 3 players transferred out, unceremoniously. But I think Billingsley's over with Sark now.
Yeah, he's at Texas, and
Billingsley and Hall are over there. So, I mean, the depth kind of concerns me there because they've had to rely on the portal so heavily at that position. The depth is, you see that you probably see and see the team a little bit more frequently than we do. So maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but the wide receiver depth. I'm not talking about Jermaine Burton, Ja'Cory Brooks, Tyler Harrell. I'm talking about what's behind them. What's behind Cameron Latou. It's concerning. If you get a couple injuries, here comes that excuse again. Hey, we lost our weapons. Right. When you're Alabama, and that should never be an excuse. It should be, we just replaced it with another 5-star. It's all good.
Yeah, and everybody talks about replacing with a 5-star, and I tell people on my show all the time, it's one thing to be talented. It's quite another to be good.
Right.
And you have to take that step to earn the right to be good. Alabama players, they're recruited. They have the talent. It's all about transitioning that over to be good.
And for some reason, you got a couple lemons in this wide receiver group that never developed.
The national championship game, they just weren't ready to make that jump. We'll see if another spring and another fall camp can develop that game. Now, we have to remember with Alabama, we are coming off a generational wide receiver room that Alabama is going to be compared to for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that last year with Tua, with those guys, just phenomenal. There's first-round picks all over the field.
There's
Judy, Waddle, Smith.
Waddle, Smith,
Ruggs.
and Ruggs.
And Ruggs, yeah. I mean,
yeah. He's currently remaking Longest Yard.
I thought Judge Jerry Judy was gonna join him.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna try and do a reunion tour at San Quentin. It is crazy, but Jerry Judy got off. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
going to your point, Stephen. You got to remember, we still got Ja'Cory Brooks, who did come up big in some situations, but he didn't get to play in the A-Day game and practice in spring because he's injured. So that might have hurt his development a little bit. But another guy that's a freshman, Aaron Anderson, there's a lot of high hopes on him, but of course he's a freshman, and who knows if he's going to start. Another guy, JoJo Earl, he's still there, and he was hurt most of the season last year. So. There's guys there, but like you said, it all depends on if they step up and make the plays that they're called on.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to come down to it. And they've got to be schemed in that scenario, and they've got to be developed in practice. You can't you can't just focus on your ones. And I know that's kind of the NFL model that Bill O'Brien's used to. You got 5 guys in the NFL that you prepare at wide receiver. And then if one of them gets hurt, you just pick one up off your practice squad or sign one off waivers and you go. Like at Alabama, you have 10 guys that you've got to prepare. And when you don't prepare those guys adequately, this is the kind of stuff that happens. So they're going to have to – he's going to have to realize that this is college. You got to develop your talent, right?
I think you'll see a lot more people swapping up, and getting reps this year.
And that's good. And that'll be good. And you get in this, and you will not. I guarantee you, Nick Saban will not let that happen again. Will not let Jameson Williams be the reason they lose.
And you think about this, guys. In years past, Alabama has been blowing out people so bad by halftime. They put their second and third string in third and fourth quarter. We didn't really blow anybody out last year. So, that was another issue.
Well, still, I mean, when they had those 4 guys, they were rotating those guys in and out, and they had guys coming in. Billingsley was a big part of that. Slade Bolden was a part of that. I mean, he got reps even with those 4 guys, those 4 NFL first rounders. Yeah. He was getting reps in there. I mean, he earned it. He had to earn it, but he was getting those reps. Now he's gone too.
Right.
So who plays that role? That's probably Jermaine.
I mean, he was our safety blanket. I feel like if you needed 3rd and 5. He always hung around the first down marker, and you threw it to him, he's going to catch it.
He was a mother effort over the middle.
Okay, here we go. Week 2 at Texas.
So Zach Wilson.
Week 2 at Texas, and that's going to be a huge game. And Darrell K. Royal at Texas is going to be completely geeked up. They're probably going to lose 45 to 17, but they're going to be geeked up before it starts.
And it's going to be 100 degrees out there at 11 a.m.
Yes, and on turf.
Yes.
So it's going to be 130 on the field.
Right.
All right. This is what's interesting to me, okay? October 1st at Arkansas.
That scares me.
October 8th, the next week, Texas A&M. Everybody's pointing to that game, and they have to go to Fayetteville, and it could be weird. And after A&M that everybody's pointing to, at Tennessee, which that game has a chance to be like the Ole Miss Tennessee game was last year. That could be an absolute zoo. It's the first time the 3rd Saturday in October has been kind of relevant. Then they have at LSU and at Ole Miss in November.
You can still have that road schedule.
Yeah, that's
a tough road schedule.
At Texas, at Arkansas, at Tennessee, at LSU, at Ole Miss.
Yeah,
and they say the Big Ten is a better conference now that they added UCLA and USC.
Yeah. I mean, I know LSU is going to be down, but my gosh, if it's a Saturday night game, that place is going to be rocking. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a cauldron. It's going to be an absolute cauldron.
Jaden Daniels, do not sleep on Jaden Daniels. He has got some ability. It was a complete and utter shit show at Arizona State.
What, the Fun Devils didn't develop him?
No. Herm Edwards was just trying to play to win the game.
Yeah.
You played to win the game, Corey.
You don't play to play. You play to win the game.
Okay, I got a question. Okay. You take Arizona State and Arizona, right? Is any other state have as good-looking uniforms and logos as that state? I mean, they're so different.
They are.
Like the Arizona now going back to their Desert Storm era jerseys.
Yeah.
Yes, all day.
Okay, this is going to sound really weird, and I'm going to get the friggin' shakes from doing this. I'm going to have to compliment Georgia Tech here for a second. When they went back, Adidas has done a good job. I know, right? Hold on.
Check your polls.
So they've got a really good look right now. The only thing Jeff Collins has done well there is get the uniforms right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to go 1-11, but they're going to look good doing
because Georgia made their schedule.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. I mean, South Carolina.
And I don't like. I do not like orange. So that's always 100%. Always going to be a negative to me.
But if you're going to go orange, like Clemson does it the best, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But orange and purple.
Yeah, that's just
when they do the orange on white.
South Carolina looks good. I like theirs when they have the white helmets. I guess when they have the black helmets at times too. I'm not a big fan of the garnet ones.
They have some pretty good combos. What about the state of North Carolina? You got the Tar Heels, NC State, who's improved their look. Wake Forest.
Too many big teams, really.
Yeah,
it's just too many teams. Like,
Okay, Virginia.
No.
Yeah.
I can't be that color maroon. Nope. That's a disqualifier.
It's like maroon and brown.
Yeah. It's kind of like you think about it. It's like Florida. Okay, Miami, yes. Florida, yes. Florida State, no.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I might have to push back on that one. But Virginia Tech, no. Virginia, yes. But yeah, no, I think the state of Florida hits it out of the park.
Oregon's got like 30 different ones, but Oregon State,
you can't.
Playing,
Yeah. California, there's too many teams. Texas, there are too many teams.
What about Kansas?
They're close. They're close.
The Jayhawks, they don't look bad.
Yeah, I am all about Kansas State's uniforms. And Kansas is the one that's kind of holding them back, but they're getting close. They're right around the edges of getting it right. And the thing about it is, with Kansas, it's about their helmet. Whenever they play too hard with their helmet, it messes up the whole look because it's red and blue. As an Ole Miss fan, it's really freaking hard to screw up red and blue.
Right.
Yeah.
What about Iowa?
Iowa, yes. I'll say
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
I don't
like Iowa State. I like them when they go. They got some pretty good combos.
Iowa State goes all black, even though black isn't a color of theirs because their uniforms are so mediocre. That's a disqualifying factor.
I don't know. I like it. What about Michigan?
Yeah.
Almost too many teams because of the directional schools pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do they count though? Like
they count. They count.
Okay, well then we have to look at Louisiana, LSU, and Tulane being the top two.
I like that one. ULM is a check mark against, and so is Louisiana Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like Louisiana Tech.
I'll take Louisiana just for Tech, Tulane, and LSU.
Yeah, and you just sit there and like Arkansas is like, why are you copying Oklahoma?
Right.
Yeah.
I guess because they won't play them so bad.
Do you know that Arkansas has only played Oklahoma 14 times in their history?
That's incredible.
That close to the school. You could literally drive to campus, and they've played 14 times. And I think that's probably because Oklahoma's been so good for so long.
Yeah.
We got to look at North Dakota, the Bison and North Dakota.
I think are they the Coyotes or is that South Dakota?
No, South Dakota State is the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, it's Jackrabbits. I think South Dakota's the Coyotes though.
Steve, right there's the gentleman who was in our chat last night that just commented, the Boomasuna guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
glad you joined tonight.
Let's do Oklahoma then. Do we like Oklahoma and Tulsa? I like Tulsa's uniforms. Tulsa has a really good look.
Tulsa's okay. Oklahoma's fine with
Steve,
their
are you
color
going to push back on every single one of mine?
Yes, because my whole point is I love Arizona. But this is
rules he got.
This is the one thing about Oklahoma State. Their uniforms was 70 years of garbage. But they've kind of, in the last couple of years, gotten it a little bit right, which means Oklahoma is a good-looking state. Because Oklahoma State they've raised their game.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's been real nice.
Yeah. Here lately, Oklahoma State, yeah.
He says their Rough Rider looks really bad.
I like the crimson and cream when they actually do the cream uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, those are good. With the white helmets.
Good look. The
what
thing
about...
not Nebraska. And Nebraska has one team that we can talk about, and not Nebraska, because they managed to screw up red and white.
I don't know how to do that.
They went so basic. Is that what you're going to say?
No, they're wearing black shirts uniforms.
I saw that.
And doing other things, and they're going outside of their color scheme or something that's traditional. Everybody's like, well, what about you, Steve, with the powder blue and all that? You see it powder blue's been in Ole Miss's uniform since 1947. It was,
right.
Yeah, it was a mistake when it got to the uniform, but they never changed it. They just made it a part of a jersey instead of a helmet. But if you look at historically, that's always been the case. So I'm really picky about teams wearing black that don't normally wear black. Let's take Florida. Florida, every game or every year for their Veterans Day game, blackout. Black helmets, black jersey, black pants. No, absolutely not. Florida has some fantastic colors, and you're just going to ruin it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the state of Mississippi?
Mississippi State's garbage.
I knew you was going to say that.
No, that just shade of maroon is nothing. I do like Southern Miss, though. Southern Miss has a
Southern
chance.
Miss is very, yeah,
that like gold and black. I actually miss games in Veterans Memorial Stadium because I'm actually alive and old enough to remember the last time Ole Miss and Southern played, and actually went to that game. And the stadium was like all gold on one side and all red on the other, and it just looked really good on the field. But Southern won a bit too many times for their liking, and so they shut it down.
Oh, wow.
Jake, you ready for this one? Steve's head's going to explode on this one. Tennessee.
Oh. I thought he was
Steve's just going to leave.
Yeah, he's just
going to walk out.
Tennessee, when they wear their stormtrooper uniforms, elite.
I like that.
Absolutely elite. Vanderbilt, whenever they had their Star V, they had some elite uniforms. But the problem you're going to run into with Tennessee is Memphis and MTSU.
Yeah.
MTSU is about as mediocre as it gets. Mm-hmm. They have a cool color scheme, too.
They do.
I like Memphis. I like the Bengals look that Memphis does. And the blue and black.
Yeah, occasionally, but they ruin it. They come out in all gray. And it's like, why? I can't even see who you are, Yeah,
I don't like that. Tennessee does not have the best orange.
Becky is watching the show.
Tennessee does not have
I've got to be good. That's my wife.
Yeah. But no, going back to Michigan. I think Michigan State does a good job. I like their look. I like what they do. Except for those god awful like two-tone green with the highlighter and the size 172 font. Those are the most heinous things I've ever seen in my life. But their regular uniforms are cool.
Yeah, they wore something last year, and I think Mel Tucker brought it in, and it was white pants, green jersey, and a white helmet with like Spartans or something in cursive. That was a fantastic look. And that maize and blue traditional look, if it was just those two, it would be elite. But they play with them too much. Mm-hmm. They play with them too much.
State is trying to be like Oregon. They try to go way off the rails.
Even
work.
Ohio, I'm not a big fan of red and black for Cincinnati and all of the MAC teams. I'm just going to ignore them. But Ohio State, traditionally, fantastic look. They play with them too much.
They do. You're right.
What about Boise State's uniforms?
No. Burn them. Die on fire.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. And their blue field.
Oh, another one that's underrated and surprisingly good is Washington. And Washington State. When they play each other, it's a nice color contrast.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. I like when USC and UCLA play each other.
Yeah, all color games. I'm all for color games. The Jackson Massacre in 1969, it shows up, and they show highlights from it every now and then. It's Ole Miss in navy blue, Tennessee in orange. Mm-hmm. And it looked really good on the field. I wish I could have been at that game.
I wish teams would completely contrasting colors would just say wear whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would do that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. The problem, Ole Miss can do that to everybody. Ole Miss, if they wanted to, would never have to wear a white jersey. Because all the red teams in the conference, Ole Miss can wear navy blue. All the other colored teams in the conference, you could wear red.
Red or powder.
Yeah, Cass.
Cass, that's that's what started this whole conversation.
Yeah, Steven loves their colors.
Especially when they play each other.
What about Monmouth and Rutgers, two very equal programs?
You know, New York Red Bulls 2 actually plays at Monmouth.
Oh, do they?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah. The fact that I know that, I'm ashamed.
What about Delaware and Michigan?
Same uniform. Just a different shade of blue.
It's just a different shade of blue. I love it.
We're in Delaware.
No,
Sorry.
you good, Cass. You good.
Sorry.
The worst state for uniforms, New Mexico. Not even close.
Are they even relevant enough to be in the conversation?
Well, they're Division I.
Still, nobody's watching them.
Yeah, and they have that terrible. They even listen to this. New Mexico State is such a bad athletic department. They even pay Oklahoma State like $10 a year for the use of their logo because they can't even have an original logo for the Aggies. It's the same as Oklahoma State. And they even call it the same thing. It's like Cowboy Joe or Jim or something like that. It's like, come on, guys. At least act like you care.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So, yeah.
Colorado has some underrated contrast in their uniforms as well.
Yeah. I do like that. Colorado State and buffs.
Although I think they both lean into the gold. So.
Yeah, but it's like a different look.
Yeah.
And they got the Rams helmets.
Yeah.
Colorado looks nice. They did it right.
Cass, Oregon gets pushed out because they got like 30 different uniform combinations, so they don't count.
Yeah.
That's what I like about them.
Nevada and UNLV, both of them wear silver because it's the silver state.
Right. There you go.
Is that why Tate Martell went there as his like 7th transfer?
Do you know a fun fact? I will let you know a fun fact.
Fun fact.
The big rivalry between Nevada and UNLV exists because UNLV was the Confederate school and sympathizers of the Civil War, and Nevada Reno was the Union sympathizers. So it's like a weird Civil War thing, even though it wasn't even a state whenever that war happened. Seriously, look it up. That's the reason UNLV is the rebels.
Huh. I never knew that.
How about the state of Connecticut with their uniforms?
Isn't it the same uniform for everybody?
It's all UConn.
It's UConn and Yale.
UConn, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah.
I like it when people say. I like Liberty.
Fuck Liberty.
James Madison looks pretty good. The worst one's probably Va-Tech, and that's going to change because the Michael Vick helmets are coming back, so it's going to look a little bit better.
Right. Yeah, they like Virginia Tech is one of those schools. They just need to go more. The more plain they get, the better their look's going to be.
Yeah,
like
Michael
the Browns.
Vick helmets.
The Browns did all that crazy stuff. They look like a freaking JV travel ball youth team from South Florida.
Right.
But when they went back simple, they look good. And Liberty can, if we could just like saw them off and push them into the ocean, that would be great.
How about Freezus and his texting or sliding into the DMs of somebody at midnight of a rape survivor?
I saw that.
Oh my god!
And saying the person that they hired that came from Baylor that oversaw all the systemic rape there. He's like, he's really a great guy.
He's like, come on, Hugh. And after that, it was like, well, he'll never make it back to the SEC again. That's over. That's gone.
Liberty, you can have him.
You just lit it on fire. He might end up back in the Sun Belt.
The Fun Belt.
Yeah, somebody might.
I will lose all respect for any team that hires him at this point.
Oh yeah, no, that goes without question. I just think that there's somebody at that level that will make that call.
Ugh.
Probably so.
Hope it's not Georgia Southern.
It won't be. Well, with Clay Helton, it may be Georgia Southern.
No,
he might be a fit for that level.
Well, I mean, he dominated at Arkansas State.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
For a year.
for a year. And then Western Kentucky. I tell you what, the state of Utah has some pretty good looking uniforms too.
Well, that's another state we didn't talk about. Kentucky.
Utah, Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky too. Although when Louisville went GTA with their uniforms.
Yeah.
GTA San Andreas.
Yeah.
Remember those uniforms?
Yeah. What you need to do with Kentucky and Louisville is color games. It should always be a color game. Kentucky in blue, Louisville in red, and let's go. Western Kentucky is a problem for me because
I like them.
I don't like the chrome helmet.
I like the chrome dome. Give me all of the chrome domes. Eastern Kentucky's FCS, so that doesn't matter.
Eastern Kentucky Colonels.
So everybody who's watching the show next week, we're going to have Corey just name off his favorite colors, and we're just going to have Steven just say, no, that ain't no good. That ain't no good.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're doing tonight? I mean, why do we need to rerun that? Be the moderator.
But
Steve has every uniform I like.
Arizona and Arizona State,
I can agree. I can agree with you on that. I love the pitchfork.
Yeah,
I can agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with you that New Mexico is a terrible state.
Even the retro uniform with Arizona State with Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. You can have that in the Desert Swarm.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, all day.
Mm-hmm. The Jake Plummer uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. I like those.
I just think that in all this conference realignment, I think the SEC is missing a grand opportunity to bring Oregon State into the conference.
Yeah,
Oregon State.
It's going to be a sad state of affairs. Yeah, when the Big 12 nabs them up and they end up winning all the national championships, the SEC is just gonna regret that move. It's going to be awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awful.
Just think of all the immature people though that can make the Cox and Beavers jokes over and over again.
Oh my God.
I mean, on a serious note, we're missing that opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I mean that is just an unbelievably missed opportunity.
No more orange-colored teams.
Is Cassidy yelling us?
No, it's
that's not her. Yeah, no.
It's our Oklahoma
It's my
fan.
Boomer Center friend.
Oh.
But
yeah. Go Pokes.
An ugly uniform that I absolutely love. Now, I'll say this again. An ugly uniform that I absolutely love, Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
For those color schemes, they got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And Coastal, too.
Oh, yeah. That is the South Carolina school, not Clemson, that might make them higher up. Mm-hmm. I really love their uniforms.
I think South Carolina is a good state for uniforms. The Citadel, I'll even throw in the Citadel. They have good uniforms.
The problem, Wofford.
If Wofford goes with anybody but Adidas, their uniforms will be cool. But they have potential. Black and gold.
You can say that for 90% of Adidas schools.
Adidas they just need to get out of football.
Adidas is screwing up Miami's uniform.
Big time.
That's all you need to know.
Miami needs to go back to Nike.
Yeah.
Yes.
The bra strap uniform, we call it. You remember, the Ed Reed era? I mean, that's some of the best looking stuff out there. Period.
Mm-hmm.
The Ed Reed Miami uniforms are ridiculous.
And Nike and Miami was like the first school to sign a apparel deal with a college team, and it was Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the OG.
They were the OG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Miami had good uniforms even in the 80s when they were the Big East. They had those big mesh. So you guys want to talk traditions?
Yeah, we can do that real quick because we just let time get completely away from us tonight.
That's okay.
Absolutely.
We can be quick because we need a short segment there anyway for social media. Okay, so I made a list, okay? And we can do this. We can all kind of just chime in, or I could read my list and you guys can react. So Steve's going to hate every single one of these. So here we go. All right, top 5 SEC game day traditions. As I see it, you guys feel free to correct me. Jake, just take a break on this one. War Eagle. Eagle flies through Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a really cool tradition. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I keep waiting on the Eagle to fly into the press box, but yeah, it's a really cool tradition.
All right. Number 2, Vol Navy.
Yeah. I
Downgrade him to 3. This is a consensus list now.
Yeah,
I'm throwing them out there.
I need to hear the other ones.
All right, let's hear the rest of the list, okay? Let's hear this is top 5, so there's going to be some schools that are left out here, okay? Ole Miss the Grove, which arguably I think is number 2, maybe even number 1.
Yeah.
A&M's 12th man, which is and Georgia
Misnomer.
Dog Walk. Yeah.
Which is a Colt.
Now. And then Georgia Dog Walk.
I would take Georgia and say that UGA is the number 1 tradition in the Southeastern Conference. Period. It's not even close.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
I could dig that.
Yeah. I think the Grove should be on there. I think this is going to sound stupid, but the PA announcer at an LSU game in the pregame always says it's Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, chance of rain, never, even if it's a monsoon at that moment. And that place gets absolutely electric whenever that happens. And right after that is the dun, dun, dun. And it's just, they do a fantastic job of whipping people up into a frenzy. I think that probably needs to replace the Vol Navy.
They do call Baton Rouge too, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, that's another thing that they just lose their mind over.
Mm-hmm.
But the LSU pregame, we just say LSU pregames.
Yeah.
The Grove, War Eagle, Bama parading out made-up national championships.
Hey, now.
There's one out there. I think y'all were 4 and 5.
We have some legit ones, okay?
Oh yeah, you have a ton of legit ones. It's like we have 18 national championships. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You have 18 national championships the way Ole Miss has 3.
Right. Yeah. I had an Auburn guy argue with me one time about that. He said, "Man, y'all only got 6 legit national championships, and Auburn's got 3." And I was like, "We still got more than y'all, even though y'all don't have 3." But okay, I mean, I'll let you claim that. The interject and affirming high fives amongst the Vandy players pregame. That's about the only high fiving they can do.
Vandy dropping the anchor pregame is actually a pretty cool tradition.
Yeah.
The captain's going out to midfield and putting the anchor down.
That's the only thing they dropped, though.
That's probably not top 5. But
no, it's not. It's not top 5. Mississippi State, the Cowbells. Hate Mississippi State, but yeah, the Cowbells.
God. And I'm going to also put together a list of secondary traditions that
instead of
our traditions.
Instead of the Vol Navy for Tennessee, it should be running through the T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen different things, and I've talked to some Tennessee fans because obviously I live in the state of Tennessee, and a lot of them are like Vol Navy.
Yeah, you got speedboats. I mean, I live in an area where there's 1,000 lakes. I see boats all over the place. It's not that big of a deal.
Right, yeah.
Kentucky's greatest tradition of talking about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest tradition, Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pat that place out.
We'll talk about that in December.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in November.
Love you, Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny, you are a guy. All right, so here's the list as I have it now. This is a consensus list, so this is not my list. This is a consensus SEC After Dark list.
Okay.
All right, you have number 1, UGA.
Okay.
Number 2, The Grove. Number 3, War Eagle.
Yeah.
Number 4, LSU pregame / Call-in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Number 5, The 12th Man, which is
no. That cannot appear in anywhere in our tradition thing.
Midnight Yell.
Whenever you duck Wake Forest because your quarterback has an owie, you can no longer claim the 12th man.
No.
So who goes there? Is it running through the T?
Mr. Two Bits at Florida is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mr. Two Bits.
You know what? Mississippi State Cowbells.
Sandstorm, Cowbells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And okay, so those are the 3. So Mr. Two Bits, Cowbells, Sandstorm, running through the T. Those are the 4.
I would probably say Cowbells. And like I said, don't like Mississippi State. That's a pretty cool tradition. Oh, calling the Hogs.
Calling the Hogs.
Forgot about that. Good callback.
Okay, let's do that. I like that.
What about the new one? Play that damn jukebox.
Last year after the Ole Miss Arkansas game, there was like Sam Pittman with "Play that damn jukebox," and it just fired up the Ole Miss fight song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
God.
So so that is the new number 5. Arkansas calling the Hogs. LSU number 4 with pregame / calling Baton Rouge. War Eagle, Ole Miss, The Grove, and UGA.
All right.
You heard it here first.
SEC After Dark approved.
SEC After Dark.
All right.
So I'll put our little stamp of approval on there.
Do we have one of those?
We do now.
Dang.
Okay. Yeah.
Going to be in the form of a hashtag.
Okay.
It's kind of like our signature.
Okay.
You putting that?
I'm doing a live edit of the Photoshop. Yeah. I'm gonna put this out. I'm gonna put the audio clip with it too. You already know.
Listen to Corey doing all kinds of work.
Yeah.
Put this right there. All right. Cool. So there's going to be an audio clip under this too.
My dog keeps trying to round me up. My dog's name is Archie, by the way, so that tells you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's a redhead.
So there's your list. There's our consensus list of top 5 SEC game day traditions.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
list.
if you put that traditions on TikTok, I might duet it. I might try that out.
Yeah, do it. Because what I'm going to do is if you look at my stadiums list, I'm going to do it just like that. I'm going to put the clip under it. And you're going to see the waveforms jumping.
Okay.
Just like that other list. So, yeah, feel free to duet it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Maybe that'll get some – because it's a top 5 list now, so maybe that'll get some heavy play.
Oh, Arugula.
Arugula. So that being said, it is about that time.
Yep.
We are SEC After Dark. Steven and Jake. I'm Corey. We hope you have a great rest of your week. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week, better than ever. Hopefully with our 4th amigo in Central Florida, Jeb.
Yeah, such a
Miss you, Jeb.
We will have some SEC Media Day content for you, maybe from the FTP, which is 3 letters I haven't heard together in quite some time.
Yeah. I got access to SEC Media Days. No
pressure, Steve, but you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to produce now.
I have to produce anyway.
That's right.
It's like 85%
y'all
of my
talking
job.
about, I was thinking about NFT. I thought it was something we was fixing to sell or something. The FFT or whatever.
No, what's going to be NFT is these freaking graphics that we're creating. Posters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Digital posters.
Absolutely.
So sweet.
This list is so good, we're going to do a digital poster.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
And we need enough people to appear in the chat and take advantage and participate in the show that you guys can get a nickname.
Yeah.
I don't know what that nickname will be, but we need to.
Yeah, it can't be Booster Club, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. But
how about the athletic supporters?
the SEC idiots.
The SEC idiots.
SEC idiot. Yeah, SEC idiots. There you go.
Yeah, SEC idiots. There we go.
The Sidiots.
That's okay. We'll that.
That'll go over like the O-Neaters in that one movie.
The Wonders.
Yeah,
I got that. That's that thing you do.
That thing you do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That go over
you have
Yeah, means more chat.
Means more chat. I like that.
I
like that.
This chat means more.
That's right.
You can be people in the chat can be just call them the means more. It means more to them.
Yep.
That's right.
It means more.
And next week, bring your friends.
Seriously. Yeah, because we're building up. Because believe it or not, you have to be a subscriber. I think to chat.
Mm-hmm.
And
because of the Russian bots.
Yeah, because of those dang bots sending out porn, so we had to make it subscriber only. But it's like after 5 minutes of being a subscriber, you can chat all you want or something like that.
How about Becky's kids?
Oh gosh.
Because she's going to be the main moderator of this thing.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We'll teach her how to moderate all that stuff, and she can just determine whether or not a comment is worth staying up.
Then we won't get any comments. She's got
this is crap. This is crap. I don't like this at all. Yeah.
Well, once we get our own phone line, she can be the one who answers. Be like, "What's your question?" And if it's no good, she'll be like, "Okay, I'm just drop the call."
Now we're cooking with gasoline here.
That's right. Yeah. Well, she said no thanks.
Yeah. It's not the first time that's happened.
Thanks. No thanks.
Yeah. Right.
I politely say, you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right. Get us out of here, Corey.
All right. We are SEC After Dark. We thank you. We will check you next week right here. Same place, same channel. Stay tuned and have a great weekend. Go Dogs.
Hotty toddy.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide. See you next week, Jeb.
Miss you, Jeb.
Miss you, Jeb.
The camera fixed, Jeb.
Did you watch the show, Jeb?
You too.
Or are you going to bed early, Jeb?